I wanna be drunk when I wake up, on the right side of the wrong bed, and never an excuse I made up. Tell you the truth, that it didn't kill me, it never made me strong.
Hello and welcome to the draw for the 2014 Lawless Poker Invitational Classic Spain. That's right folks, the Lawless Invitational is truly an international event now, with events in Ireland, the UK and now Spain and the Czech Republic as well. And speaking of the Czech Republic, we're very fortunate to be joined once again by none other than the four-time gold bracelet world champion Wayne, the Double G OG Lawless, here in high definition. Wayne, welcome back, it's great to see you.
Hey Shane, thanks for having me. It's been a while since we done one of these interviews. I'm not sure if you even had an event at Christmas. I couldn't make it anyway. I didn't hear anything about it.
We had a little game,
The scrap or something. You were actually playing scrap with cards or something.
Snap, yeah, Snap, that's right.
No, scrap. Was there not a game called Scrap?
I don't know. I only know poker, that's all I know. But yeah, so unfortunately you weren't able to attend that event, but I'm sure you heard the results and the entire story behind it. With Jason winning, of course, his first gold bracelet, joining his brother Gavin in the very storied echelons of the Lawless Invitational Classic. What was your first reaction when you heard the result, Wayne?
Well, when I actually heard Jason, when I looked outside and I just had a look at the sky just to see was the mothership actually there.
You weren't checking outside for a blue moon or anything, no?
No, I was looking up and just see was there actually a mothership there and UFOs flying around, and there wasn't.
It wasn't the end of times or a zombie outbreak or anything like that. But yeah,
it was a bit of a surprise, Shane. Yes, to say the least.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise, but that's not unusual for the Lawless Invitational, especially the gold events. Yeah, there always seems to be a very unusual, unpredictable result for the gold events, let's say. I had a little email earlier on in the week about my analysis of past winners, yeah, well done to Jason. He beat.
Shane, so you're basically saying that only the bad players have the golds.
Hey, I'm only here to discuss the facts. So don't shoot the messenger. I just wrote the results in an email, and let everyone make of that what they will. But
well, I mean, if you were to exclude the Double G and maybe from the people with the one bracelets to the second, it would probably be the worst players alphabetical order. Yes, I would have to agree with you, Shane.
Well, it's like I don't want to sound bitter or anything. But it is kind of an unusual kind of string of results especially for the gold event, which is typically 2 tables. But that's the luck of the draw, and Jason played well. He learned from his past mistakes. He built up a chip lead early on, and then when he got to the final table, he just sat there like a good boy, like a choir boy, looking after his stack instead of playing every hand as he's done in the past. And he was able to strike at the right moment, and he beat Steve heads up. So I mean, Steve isn't that easy to beat.
And Shane, did he play well, or was he hit with the deck?
Well, I can only speak to what I saw, and I was at the same table as Jason. I didn't make the final table. I was out quite early, but certainly when he was at my table, yeah, he was getting. I actually had a little bit of deafness in this ear from the amount of times he was getting smacked. Was quite loud. He was getting smacked so hard.
And is it true to say that Steve's meltdown was on par with Horton Maguire's meltdown in Prague?
Well, maybe not that extreme, but like I said, I wasn't there for that. But as events have been explained to me, I think Steve might have had a little bit too much of old Grandpa's cough medicine. And glug. I'm not saying you have this problem, Steve. We may need an intervention if the same thing happens again. But that's look. This is it. Nobody's gonna go there and be sober as a judge like a certain Marco guy that once graced the event.
Would it be fair to say then that Jason winning was he hit the deck and was very lucky, and Steve not winning was just basically choking?
I'm only only here to present the show, Wayne. I can't possibly comment on anything that they've said there, whether it's true or otherwise. But yeah, I think that was, you know, I was a runner-up in Christmas against Gavin, and it's difficult to get yourself into that position in a gold event. So I hope Steve doesn't regret it.
Well,
you know, it's hard to get to that.
Shane, can I jump in there? Actually, speaking of bad players, you just mentioned Gavin as well.
Well, we'll get everybody will have their moment as we do the draw. This time we'll do.
Shane, I got a new phone. A new one of these new phones.
well, very nice.
It has the internet, just not much though. It has a couple of megs, and I can dial abroad as well.
That's a remarkable technology, and all you need now is an actual internet connection, and you'll be set. But yeah, congratulations on the new phone, Wayne. Welcome to the 21st century. You're only about 14 years late.
I bought new sunglasses as well in Lidl or Lidl.
Oh, that's that exclusive German boutique shop, is that right? It's a bit like
Yes.
Cartier, is it?
In Czech money, they were 80
Okay.
crowns.
Okay. And what would that be in euros?
That would be like €2.
Okay. So what you're saying is, but still, those Filipino children with their small little hands when they're making all the pennies, t-shirts and stuff, you can't fault them. You need quite small.
Shane, I have to. Dylan has just texted me and he wants to get in on the action. Is it possible that you log in via his? He wants you to log in with his account on Skype.
Okay, then how is
So
he?
he can listen in.
But then how can, tell him I'll ring him. I'm going to ring him now. This is all live, folks. I'm going to tell him I can ring him on WhatsApp.
You ring him on WhatsApp.
That'll be easier than rather than trying to hack his account. Okay, let me just see. Speaking of technology and phones, I got a new phone as well, so I'm still trying to figure this out.
He's just sent me a picture of his anatomy.
No prizes for guessing what part it probably is. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, sorry about that little technical glitch, folks, but now we're joined by the CEO of Lawless Invitational Poker Classic, Dylan, the Triple D Lawless, joining us via Skype as well here on my laptop. Dylan, can you hear us okay?
I can hear you perfectly, Shane.
Okay, me and Wayne can hear you. You might be able to hear Dylan at home, but he just wants to listen in live to hear how the draw goes. So unless there's anything else, will we fire into the draw?
Yeah, I'm sick of talking about bad players.
Well, you mightn't be finished yet. So again,
Give them a good stir, Shane.
good start, yeah. So this time I'm going to do the draw. Wayne is just going to make a note of the seating positions, and then we're going to talk about both tables afterwards. Then, so we're not going to pause in between each name. So the first name out for the Spanish event is Owen. Owen, there you are, Owen. Okay, there, Owen. And let's find Owen a seat.
Is that table 1, Shane?
I'll tell you now in 2 seconds, and it is table 1, seat number 3 for Owen. Table 1, seat number 3. Okay, the next player out is Dylan. Dylan, you're out of the bowl. So let's find a table for Dylan. Of course, it's going to be Dylan's stag event, so we're all looking forward to that.
Table 1, I'm sure.
And it is table 1 indeed, seat number 5. So table 1, seat number 5.
Shane, usually me and you are always at the same table together.
If me and you are at the same table again together, Wayne, I am officially quitting doing these draws. And it is Johnny Crane. Johnny, a debutant for the Lawless Invitational Poker Classic. So mixing it up well. And Johnny is going to be on table 1 again, seat number 4. So right in between Dylan and Owen. So
I wouldn't mind being on that table. Of course I won't be. I wouldn't mind this.
You'll be on the table with me and Steve and Pierce and all the tough players.
I know.
Next player out, speaking of which, is Pierce. Pierce Jordan. Alright, Pierce.
100% seats are table 2.
Alright, I'm taking the next one out here, table. And he is on, table 2, seat 4. So, table 2, seat 4 for Pierce. Alright. You know, it'd be better if it was like the World Cup draw where I had some celebrities and stuff to come in and do this donkey work, but fortunately I don't have to do it myself. And the next player out is Matt. Matt,
Ooh.
the Luton champion.
I'd like to see Matt with Dylan's table. I'd like to see Dylan's school, Matt.
Okay, Matt, and where are we going to put Matt? Matt will be on table 2, seat number 5.
Wow.
Alright.
Nice position too.
Right after Pierce. So, even though I'm giving these a good mix, they are kind of coming out in order. This is the poker gods again. And the next player out is Neville. Neville. Okay, Neville.
I have a feeling Neville will be table 2.
And Neville will be table 2, seat number 6. So there you go, Pierce, Matt, Neville, in that order so far on table 2. Mixing up, and we have Dave. Dave, he made his debut.
I would like to see David on table 1.
Alright, give him a good mix up, not even looking. Good mix. And Dave will be
Table 1.
table 1, seat 6. Okay, so he is right after Dylan. So yeah, these are kind of coming out in order, but I suppose there's only 8
I'm starting to
seats.
think I'd like to be at table 1, which means I'll be at table 2.
So let's see. The next, don't take out 2 at once. Next player out is the double G. Wayne, the double G Lawless. Okay, Wayne, the moment of truth. Where will he be?
Shane, I want to call my table. For once, I never get a good table. Let me at table 1 with Owen, Dylan, Johnny, and Dave. Table 1, come on, one time.
One time. You're using your one time now.
Yeah.
Table 1, seat number 8. Table 1, that is a good seat draw there, right on the end for the double G. The double G called it.
At last. I deserve that at last. Now, Dylan, we're going to have some fun.
Oh! Alright, the next player out is Jason. Jason, our most recent gold bracelet winner.
Shane, you know, I know he's a great player and I really respect his game. Put him at table 1.
And he will be table 2, seat number 8. Okay.
Alright. Seat 8, yeah.
Alright. So next out will be... What one you got? Oh.
The professor must be getting near.
Near, but not quite yet. It's Maguire. Maguire, our Bristol gold bracelet champion.
Stick that gold bracelet player at table 1.
Alright, and let's see where we're going to put Maguire. It will be
Table 1.
table 2, seat number 1.
Oh, off position, so poor thing.
Alright, next player out.
I'm looking forward to seeing Maguire since he hasn't spoken to me since he got married. God,
And we have Steve. Steve the sniper.
Oh, 16 at table 1. I've never actually played a full game with Steve at my table. I think I've got 2 minutes with him at my table. Next to the last call one.
And Steve will be table 2, seat number 7.
Oh, nice position too.
Between Jason and Neville. Okay, so...
Dylan, this is nearly the way we called it the last night when we were talking.
You still with us, Dylan? Easy, yeah. And we have Paulie.
Oh, put Paulie at table 1. Go on. Play to the drink games. And then look Gavin after him. That'd be such a top table.
Let's see, Paulie will be...
Table 1.
Table 2, seat number 2. So he is between Maguire and Pierce. Alright.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Okay, so only 4 names left. Let's see who we have now. We have
Gavin.
Trevor.
Oh,
Trevor Murray.
You know Trevor's at table 1, so just throw out the name.
Let's see where he lands, Trevor. And Trevor
Table
is
1 has to be table 1.
table 1, seat number 7.
Oh, that's great. Right beside the double G.
Oh, he takes my seat. I'm very well. Actually, I could still be beside you technically if I get pulled in seat position
you're
1.
going to be at my table. There's no way to get out of it. And I think, look at the draw, you'd probably prefer me at my table. At least you'll have more fun with us.
Alright, so now we have, the Professor, Shane. Alright. What have the poker gods in mind for me now? Give this a good
Which
mix.
you want to say before you look? Which one do you want? Table 1 or 2?
Probably, I think there's only seats left at table 1, believe it or not. Yeah. Is there one? Oh no, there's only one. There's only one seat. And I'm at table 1, seat position 2. Yes, this is definitely the table of death. That is a tough table. So we only have...
Is that a joke? I don't see anyone that play poker at that table, except myself.
And Dylan. Alright, oh, sorry Dylan, I'm blocking your view there, sorry. And we have Gavin, the 2-time Christmas Gold Bracelet Champion.
Please, table 1, please. It's all I want for Christmas, just Gavin. For entertainment alone. Not for his poker prowess.
And for Gavin...
Table 1.
Table 1! Seat position 1! Well, my goodness, that table
is going to be so much fun.
And only one name left here, so no need to switch the ball. And this will be table... So it is Byron. Byron. Again, I don't think he has played in... well, he has played in Prague, actually. Yeah, he's played in Prague, so he's not a newbie.
He bowed out of the other ones.
Bowed out gracefully. And he is in table 1, table 2, seat number 3. Okay, so let's quickly recap the draw before we get into the player analysis. So at table 1 we have Gavin, Shane, Owen, Johnny, Dylan, Dave, Trevor and Wayne. Now that sounds like a tough table to me. And on table 2 we have McGuire, Paulie, Byron, Pierce, Matt, Neville, Steve and Jason. So that completes the draw. So which table would you like to analyse first, WG? Will we start with table 2 maybe?
Okay, let's start with table 2.
Hold on. Yes, Dylan?
Could you hang up and call me back because I can't see anything. The screen has gone blank.
Right. Hold on a second.
Just see, try to put on the camera. It just went away. I'm looking at a lovely picture of you and Grassy.
Alright, let me see now. Yeah, I do work in IT, believe it or not. It is, I do, I swear. Let's see. Yeah, I'm bringing it up now.
I love the tables shape, they're really nice. I'm just really happy on my tables table because I haven't really seen a table in ages, so I'm looking forward to seeing them
Can you see us now, Dylan?
win, maybe.
Hello? I have him here. Hold on. There he is. Yeah, there he is. Alright. Okay, so let's talk about table 2 then. So in seat number 1 we have McGuire. Yeah, there was a couple of strange hands that McGuire played at Christmas. If I can be so bold as to fill you in, Wayne.
Please do, Shane, please do.
Well, there was one hand there's 2 hands that stick out in my mind. One hand was with Albert, where McGuire had like a really crappy flush draw, and Albert was raising into McGuire. McGuire was coming re-raising heavily back over the top. Did it on every street, on the river. Albert bets tiny min raise again, and McGuire puts in a big part of the stack. And Albert calls with the second nut flush, and McGuire with his crappy flush. Like, I don't know why he was re-raising so much. A strange play. And then of course the infamous hand with Jason, where he had Maguire had pocket aces and folded to Jason after putting about 70% of his stack into the pot. So I mean, what do we say about Maguire? Is he getting worse? Is he getting better? What's his chances?
Well, Shane, funny you should mention that aces hand. I actually had eyes on the ground for that hand, believe it or not. A certain, I won't say who it was, but let's say an elderly gentleman who would be the father of myself and Dylan. Jason was just, keeping him interested, showing a few hands there and there, just so, because Pat was out of the game, obviously, early.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jason had Jack and shits when he done that. I think he had 2-7 offsuit. So Maguire's game is terrible. It's embarrassing. It's soft like the way he is. I'm sick of him. I want him. I got no time for him anymore. I'm coming after you, little man. I'm coming after you. Daddy's coming after you right now.
All right. Okay. So Maguire, marked man is you. I think everybody's marked man for Wayne, but Maguire made final table at Christmas. I mean, I can't talk. I got knocked out early, so what do I know? Next up we have Paulie. Paulie has played a few times with us. Usually, if there was a bracelet for the drinking poker, he'd certainly win that, wouldn't he?
Can Dylan's voice be heard in this, or is it only our voices?
Well, Dylan could probably hear us. Probably be heard. Let's try it anyway. Dylan, what do you think of Paulie? His chances.
Dylan might be able to answer this question better, and he played with Paulie more.
I don't think Paulie is there to play poker, to be honest. I think he'll probably be first out of that table, but he will be the drunkest for sure.
All right. So in case you didn't hear that, yeah, Dylan said Paulie won't be there really for the poker, but more there for the drinking, and he may be first out. All right. Then we got Byron. Byron had played. I think he's only played one time with us in Prague. And that was a bit like drinking poker, if I'm being honest, in 2009 when I won. But good to see Byron join the Lawless Classics again after a long absence.
Yeah, I mean, Byron's game is pretty dog shit, actually. He doesn't really have a clue how to play poker. He'll be there just for the entertainment factor, except without the entertainment. so it'll be good to see him. Maybe he can get me some drinks while I'm in the middle of big hands. That would be awesome.
All right. So you're not giving Byron much of a chance. So then after Byron we have Pierce Jordan, of course, the 2012 Christmas gold bracelet champion. Didn't really feature that much in Christmas just past. He seemed to be more interested in going into town and getting some strange. He was seemed like in a hurry. He kept looking at his watch. And he didn't even switch off his car outside, it was still running. So I don't think he was that mentally invested in this year's Christmas event, unfortunately. He wasn't too interested in defending his title. Will he be more interested in Spain?
I hope so. I think the fact he wasn't so interested in the Lawless Invitation is he was hungover like a motherfucker. And I think he was just looking forward to going home, having a bubble bath, and playing some Billy Quaid.
All right. Okay. So we all have events like that where we're not at 100%. Let's say.
I have to never.
Yeah. You always bring the A game. And then we had got Matt. Matt, of course, won the Luton event last year on his debut. Then he won some other smaller UK event as well. So a pretty impressive start to his poker career, would you say, Wayne?
Dylan again has more insight into Matt. I mean, I played it with the table with Matt, but he was hit by the deck like I've never seen a man hit by the deck before.
I don't know.
Jason and Paul do all their chips to him. He'd be the first to say that. Now, Dylan played with him in a very high-profile game in London. Maybe Dylan can bring you to that, what happened, but I heard Matt won and bet Dylan heads up. Over to you, Dylan.
No, Matthew's a very good player. He's read a lot of books. He knows what to do in the right situation. But he hasn't really been tested yet. He had a huge stack in Luton, as we know. But I think if he makes the final table in the stack with the double G and triple D and Professor and a few guys at the table, all equal stacks, I think he might be found out. I don't know how good he is. He could be great, but he could be looking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Matt, like, yeah, he seems definitely not to know the theory. Maybe some unusual situation will arise that's not covered by the book. I don't know, are you allowed to have the books with you when you're playing poker? Is that allowed? Is it an open book exam? Or will you have to just to go on instinct? I'm not sure. But Matt, yeah, he's a pretty good player, pretty solid. Can't say I played a lot of hands with him either. We were at the same, we met the final table in Luton, but no, I didn't play any hands with Matt. But yeah, as soon as I got heads up, in fairness to the Double G didn't really have much of a stack to make any moves, so that was
the
all.
difference between me and Matt is Matt reads the books, I write the books.
I like it. I like that quote. So next up we got Neville. Yeah, again, didn't really feature at Christmas, didn't make final table. He was hungover as a motherfucker too. Yeah, absolutely dying. So even, you know, I suppose A for effort to make the event, but you know, maybe F- for poker effort. Any thoughts on Neville?
Well, I wasn't there, but I'll pass it over to Dylan in 1 minute. But guys will have to stop coming over to the biggest game of the year. They shouldn't even be drinking for the 359 and a half days before this event. Dylan, it's over to you about Neville's game. Neville is a great man to take chips off, that's all I know.
You want to chime in on Neville, Dylan?
Yeah, no, Neville's a great player. He's come third twice in the Christmas Classic. He's only played it, I think, 3 times, the third twice. No, he's very good, unpredictable. He'll call you down with anything, and he's often right when he calls me down. So if he gets some decent hands, he could. I reckon he'll definitely make the final table.
All right, okay. So not a bad prediction for Neville. And then we have Steve the Sniper Spittles. If anybody was on YouTube recently, they would have seen the Double G on one of his podcasts say some stuff about Steve's poker persona, let's say. Are we saying, Wayne, that Steve has a touch of the Tony G about him at the poker table? Does he rub some players the wrong way?
Yes, I mean, there was a few incidents at the Galway event that I didn't like one bit. One hand was he got very lucky against the Triple D. He went over the top of the Triple D, and you know, the Triple D bowed out because he read him for getting lucky, but he wouldn't even show his hand afterwards. And I found that to be very good play, Shane. And there was another couple of incidents, and I wasn't overly happy with. You know, since he's in-law, I would have expected a little bit more class, to be totally honest with you, Shane. And I was a little bit disappointed with the old Avengers look.
Oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't blame Steve for not showing. I personally don't show my hands either. I like to take the Phil Ivey approach of not giving any sort of information away. But then again, when I don't ever have any winning hands to show, so go figure.
But I think, Shane, it depends on the situation. Maybe we should have the Triple D to chime in his 2 cents on this situation.
Dylan, what are your thoughts?
I was drinking soup. I'm not sure what Wayne said.
I think that's Dylan saying that he's going to plead the fifth on that question. No, we're just talking about Steve. I don't know. The Galway event was, there was probably a lot of.
And Shane, you forgot the slow roll with the nuts against Pierce, which was pretty lousy as well.
Oh, well, you can't talk about slow rolls, Double G. You can't talk about slow rolls. Look, we've all had.
If I have quads, I have 2 pair. Was I wrong?
No. All right, and then the last player then at table 2 is Jason. Jason, our most recent gold bracelet winner. Did he get lucky? Did he play well? Probably a bit of both. Can lightning strike twice? Can Jason, the Bang Brother number 2, make it number 2 in Spain?
I'll pass that one to Dylan as I wasn't there.
Dylan, yeah, you were there. You were obviously finished third. Amazingly, Dylan finished third. You gotta say, Dylan had dog shit hands the entire event, and I mean the entire event, but still managed to finish third. So Dylan, Was Jason just lucky, or do you think he could strike again in Spain, or maybe, you know, top 3 result?
Well, like that, you have to get lucky to win one of these events. He got great cards early on, but I was very impressed with his patience. He got a triple lead, and he switched off for about 3 hours where he didn't play anything. And from the next 4 or 5 players, he turned it on again, went into 5th gear, and just played great. Yeah, no, he got great hands. I don't remember him getting lucky as in but he definitely got great hands at the right time, and he had patience as well. I think if he gets good hands, he could definitely be there again.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's not hard to play straights and full houses really. You know, all you have to do is keep betting. But
it's not really rocket science.
It's not really rocket science, you know. It's not really rocket science, and.
What will I do with the nuts?
Then again,
I go all in.
Yeah, but then he was getting called. I mean, I gave him a lot of chips. One hand I raised with ace queen. He called I think he was in the big blind with king 10 offsuit, flops a straight. I flop, pair of queens with an ace kicker. Lost a lot of chips in that hand. Another hand later on, I had ace 9, he had ace 10, ace on the flop. Lost another chunk of change there as well. So, you know, yeah, it was his day. But, you know, when he got to the final table, he approached it right and played well. Minded his stack.
Going on form, is it fair to say that Jason would be the favourite to win this, maybe followed by Matthew, and then maybe followed by the snapper?
Possibly. On form, do you mean the typical players that win a gold bracelet?
No, I mean current history.
Oh, in current history, yeah. In the last, well, I mean, you'd have to put Dylan in there in the mix as well. I mean, how many more second places can the guy have? Like I said, he's definitely going to get gold on his wrist before he gets gold on his finger this year. Definitely, you know. He's going to have 2 chances before the big day. So.
Jimmy White had 6 seconds.
But Jimmy White was a choker. Dylan has never choked in these events, really. So.
He's just got unlucky.
Seriously unlucky. But we could talk about luck all day. That's one of my favourite topics. Luck and bad beats, etc., etc. But we'll move on to table 1. And I gotta say, it's a pretty deep table here with talent, and we start, of course, with Gavin, the 2-time gold bracelet champion. And you know, it's like when people are forecasting snow at Christmas. There's lots of predictions about, you know, it's going to arrive for Gavin this year. You know, after a long gap between any sort of result. I'm not even talking about wins. I'm talking about any kind of result. Every year we predict. Now this will be the year where Gavin really turns it on again and shows us what he can do. But we haven't seen it, and I don't know, are we going to see it?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, Gavin is, he's evolving as a player, but kind of man to ape ways, rather than ape to man ways.
So de-evolving, in other words.
Is that a word?
Well, yeah, I think they call it, what did they call it? They call it, what was that movie with Brad Pitt? Where he...
Degressing.
Degressing, yeah. What was that movie with Brad Pitt where he starts off as an old guy and gets younger? The Curious Case, we call it Benjamin Button. There you are.
Rambo.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Benjamin Button, yeah, that's kind of what Gavin. But, you know, he made final table at Christmas, the Triple D.
The thing is, Shane, I mean, Jason's game has improved. We can't take that away from him.
Right.
Maybe they've been, rubbing each other up and helping each other get better at the game. You know.
Well,
and maybe this year we're going to see something from Gavin besides the good hair and the good looks. I want to see him make the top 12. The top 12 is a good result.
Top 12 out of 16 players. Okay. I think he can manage that. You know, he made the final table at Christmas. I think he shoved with pocket 6s. The Triple D called him with ace king suited, and I think Dylan hit an ace. There was no sweat or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, what can you do, you know? But
he was ahead.
He was ahead. Next up, we have the Professor. The Professor, myself. I don't know who I want to hand it over to here. No result to mention at all at Christmas. We played. I think I was battling all day. In my defence, I was battling all day and not getting really any breaks. Probably let a lot of frustration creep into my game, and kind of got valued into a hand with Jack Deuce, flopped a Jack, I shoved all in stupidly, and the triple called me with Jack Queen, and that was the end of my day. What do I need to change, Wayne? What do I need to improve on?
Sure, you've been very unlucky. I mean, I think fundamentally you have a good game. You know what cards to play, you know when to fold. I think you have been running awful dirty luck. I mean, I saw some of the hands you went in with and a few of the raises, and you really have been trampled on by the unlucky goals.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, no. I don't want to harp on too much about it.
Well, you usually do, though.
I usually do. But in the interest of variance, I asked the poker gods, please, just give me a couple of hands, not like crazy hands. Similar to Dylan, all I'm looking for is reasonable hands, and when I'm ahead, for my hands to hold up. That's all I ask. I don't think it's a big ask. It's got the poker luck has to change sometime. But look, I don't want to dwell on it. We'll see what happens. I'm going to enjoy it anyway. I'm really looking forward to this event. It's really, and not far away, but less than, 36 days? A month?
5 weeks, Shane.
5 weeks, wow, 5 weeks.
Right.
I better pack my mankini. Alright, so next up we have Owen. Owen, now I have quite strong thoughts on Owen, and if you will allow me to digress a little bit.
Please.
Owen is, to quote the Double G, dog shit at poker. Dog shit. Okay, I make no apologies, Owen. I love you like the son. I love you like a gay lover. But you're
like a legitimate son.
A legitimate son that I don't want to really acknowledge because of your poker game or lack thereof. You got no game. That's the problem. You got no game. I called you out on it in Galway. You didn't play a hand. You blinded off 2 stacks, your own stack and your father's stack. I called you out on it, and then you arrived for the Christmas event, and what did you do? You folded all day. Fold, did not play. I was at the same table as Owen. He folded the entire day. And then he gets to the final table. Well done, big applause. And what does he do? He shoves all in with King 7 offsuit. Randomly shoves in all his stack, and he gets called by, I forget who called him. I think it was it Steve or someone, or yeah, but he ran into pocket something anyway. But crazy move. I mean, why fold all day if you're going to shove with King 7 offsuit for no reason? He wasn't even, I think he had more than 20 big blinds. Can anybody explain that?
I think that the word dog shit just hit the nail on the head. There's really no explanation we can give.
Yeah, saying all that, he'd probably win in Spain.
Probably because I know your theory.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what frequency I'm on. Okay, so that's Owen. Then we got Johnny. Johnny, never have played poker with him. I don't know whether he knows anything about poker. Maybe he does. He might be a complete shark. Dylan, do you know if Johnny plays? Has he got game?
No, I don't think Johnny has ever played in his life.
Okay, so John.
So he'll probably win.
He'll probably be second. Owen will win. Johnny will be second. Both of them heads up. They'll be heads up for about 2 hands, and it'll be all over. Then we got Dylan. Dylan, the Triple D Lawless. More second places than I don't know what. It's just unnatural. The amount of runner-up positions, and like I said, the 3rd place in Christmas was impressive for all the right reasons. Really had. I think everybody would admit that he had pretty awful hands. Again, his luck has to change sometime. I mean, would you say besides you, he's definitely the most skillful player?
Yes, after me and a long way after me, he's definitely the second best player that's going to be at this event. He has superb reading skills. His reading ability is second to none. I would say his reading skills are something like maybe a 27-year-old healthy man.
Right.
Yes, so your eyes are in good shape. He can read really well. Can he win? Yes, he can win. I expect him to go very deep. He has been very unlucky heads up. I mean, even when I played him heads up, he had pocket aces, and I had 2-7, and the flop came 2-2-7, and I got full house and knocked him out to win my 4th title. So he has been very unlucky, and I hope he does well. I wouldn't even mind him winning, to be totally honest with you, Shane.
I wouldn't mind at all. I would not. No, but I don't think anyone would begrudge the the Triple G a win. He deserves it, but of course we all know deserve ain't got nothing to do with poker. But yeah, I think Dylan has a great chance, and he has some history when it comes to these kind of big events associated with his own milestones, because he did win his 30th birthday. So maybe that's the little bit of hope there as well, the little edge that he might need just to take one.
Well, I mean, it's fair to say there is nothing wrong with his game. It's just a couple of spots he's run into the wrong hands at the wrong time, and he's been a little bit unlucky. But since he's his weekend, maybe the poker goals can be a little bit nicer to him.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So Dylan, best of luck. We're all rooting for you. I'm going to try. If I do get knocked out again, I hope I do give all my chips to you this time as well. And you just slip me that. You just slip me the old, if you know what I mean, under the say no more. Wink as good as a nod. Okay. And then we have Dave. Dave, who made his debut in Luton, and Dave was seated immediately to my right in Luton. And I gotta say, he played pretty well for a guy that didn't know anything about poker. He actually did pretty well for a while, and then he got knocked out. But certainly didn't disgrace himself. What do you think about Dave?
Dave is a lovely guy. Me. Dave is a lovely guy. Dave is a lovely guy. I think he really has the commitment and the energy that's needed to, really take down this title. He'll be there. I mean, he's a great guy. I like to think of him more of like a gopher. And when we're in big hands here, we can just say, Dave, grab us a couple of Stella there, mate, or whatever. he'll go and get them for us. He's a good guy. Poker-wise, I'm not sure. I don't think he has played much before. But then again, I think he met the final table in Luton. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think he may have done. Yeah, I think he may have done. Yeah, it's hard to remember, but yeah, like I said, I couldn't really, for a complete beginner, I couldn't fault how he played in Luton, and he was at the table with myself and the Double G, and yeah, he played fine. So yeah, he'll probably finish third. So it'll be Owen. Who else did we say is going to be second? Owen, Dave, and
Johnny.
And Johnny, yeah. That's your top three, folks. You heard it. I'm done with picking the favourites. This isn't Cheltenham. Okay, I am done with picking the favourites to win. So then we got Trevor. Trevor, if Pierce and Neville were hung over at Christmas, then Trevor he had double AIDS and a serious swine flu and a touch of avian flu as well. He was so bad, he was so sick that he missed the exit for Loughrea on the way from Galway. So and he made final table. So I don't know how you done it, Trev. I really don't. You've been surfing off your good looks for too long now. Maybe that was how you done it. But what do you think about Trevor, Wayne? You'll be in close proximity to the body. What do you think? Will you be able to vote? Will that affect your game, I wonder?
Hasselhoff, as we call him.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Trevor's game is not so bad. He's a nice guy. I like him. I like him so much we never talk only when we see each other at the poker.
Well, it's hard to stay in touch. It's hard to stay in touch. If only there was some sort of video chat software that someone could use to call someone for free and talk to them. I mean that's a good idea for an app. All right, if anybody wants to develop that,
Or if there was some kind of like an email system or something that you could send emails.
No, now you're talking. Now you might as well be talking about hoverboards and time travel and DeLoreans. I mean, come on now.
But
let's keep one foot in reality. You know what I mean?
Get back to his game. He's not a bad player though. I think he understands the fundamentals of the poker. He's a great guy to have at the table because he's good fun. He likes drinking, he likes to chat. I can see him making the final table. Sure, why not?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely Trev. Yeah, he's got a solid game. Yeah, quite similar to me, I think, in terms of has a pretty good understanding of the game, and he, in fairness, he does sometimes get unlucky as well. So yeah.
Unlucky, really.
Well, you would think he'd make the final table. And the last but not least, we have, of course, The Double G! Double G, Wayne Lawless, Player of the Year. I don't know, that was not awarded by this program, but you know, in 2009. 2009 was a good year. But yeah, Wayne, yeah, you're going to be back in action after unfortunately missing the Christmas event. I think, you know, the event did miss you. You miss your presence, miss your smack talk, and missed your general aroma, if for want of another word. You must be looking forward to getting back in the saddle. I mean, shake off the ring rust, and you're certainly going to have some interesting players at your table to butt horns with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to the challenge right now. I've been really trying to hone my skills at home. I've been playing a lot of cricket to get my eyes on point. I've been playing a little bit of fauché, the one with the swords, fauché.
Fencing?
That's the one, fencing. So, I mean, I'm really looking forward to tearing all these guys apart. Dylan is the only one at my tail that I'm concerned with, and maybe the professor, but after that I'm not concerned about any of these punks. Everyone that Britain, look me in the eyes. Daddy's coming for you, baby. I'm coming for you all, boys, and I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah, it is actually remarkable the amount of professional cricket players that move into poker and are quite successful. Yeah, so you definitely have a good grounding there. But yeah, it'd be great to have you back. Dylan, any thoughts on Wayne? You're going to be at the same table as him. Yeah, you have some poker history together, and yeah, it's going to be tough, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I prefer to have Wayne at my table. I know his game. I know what he does. I think I'm a better player than him. It's just he's got lucky at the right time. So I prefer to have predictability at my table. And Wayne to me is very predictable.
Okay, so how do you? Let's give the Double G a chance to respond to that. You are Dylan is basically saying you are predictable. I think he might have said Anne and Barry, chapter 1, an introduction. Predictable.
Well, Dylan is right. I'm predictable. I'm winning gold bracelets.
Okay, well, we can't argue with you. You know, you're top of the table, top of the bracelet standings. If you win another one this year, it's going to be very difficult to catch you.
I plan to.
Yeah. So
I plan this. It's coming home. 1, 2, the Double G's coming for you. 3, 4, lock your door. 5, stick. 5, 6, grab a crucifix. 7, 8, it's not too late. 9, 10, you big fat hen.
now look at that. Poet, philanthropist, professional poker player. Yeah, he's got it all, folks, and yeah, it's going to be tough. I can't say that I'm delighted with my table draw. You know, like I said, there's Gavin, 2-time gold bracelet champion. Wayne, 4-time gold bracelet champion. Dylan, silver bracelet champion. I'm telling you, it's going to be very tough. But you know, we can't wait for the event. I can't believe it's only 5 weeks away. I better actually sort my passport and stuff like that. Might be a good idea. Pack my Speedos. Which colour Speedos should I bring? Double G. Which ones do you prefer? I got like hot pink or red or blue. Or just wear it. Or just wear what?
Hot pink would be great.
Hot pink. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'll wear those especially for you. Okay, I think that wraps it up. Unless you have any final thoughts to share with us, Wayne.
No, I just want to say to Dylan, we're going to have a great time in Spain, and congratulations on your forthcoming wedding.
Congratulations indeed. Congratulations indeed. Would you like to leave us with any thoughts, Dylan?
No, appreciate the comments there, Wayne. Thank you. 2 good tables. I think table 1 is by far superior. But as we've seen in the past, the top tables end up being the easier tables, and the easy tables end up being the top tables. But I can see myself, Double G, and Shane getting out of our table to join probably Steve, Ned, Jordan, Jason, and Matt from the other side.
Okay.
Probably with Trev joining us as well to make up kind of a 9-person table.
Okay.
I think, I think there's going to be a repeat champion. I don't see any non-champion winning this. You know, someone that has bracelets will be doubling or tripling up. I can't see any of the other guys winning anything. It's
Oh.
just Sean Field.
But wait, I don't think Owen has won a gold bracelet before.
Owen hasn't won anything.
Okay, I'm predicting Owen. Just basically based on my comments, based on these things.
I'm going to go on the record and make a prediction.
Right.
I'm going to win.
Okay, well, you always predict that. I mean, and you've been right 4 times, so, you know, not bad, not a bad.
Okay, I'll make it a bit more vague. It'll be someone who has a bracelet already.
Okay,
Gold or silver.
so you would agree.
Someone without a bracelet winning are very, very impossible.
Okay, all right, that's okay. So you're in agreement with Dylan as regards that there won't be another new gold bracelet winner in Spain. All right.
Not anymore. Those days have flown.
Those days have flown. Well, we shall see, and we don't have to wait very long to find out the truth of the matter. When all the talk will stop, all the emails will end, all the videos and trailers will be put to one side, when we all sit around our table in Spain, sipping cocktails and playing some poker and get those cards in the air. So until then, we'll all see you in Spain. Get practicing your game on. Try something else. Try calling at least. Maybe don't rush into raising. Maybe call a hand once in a while. Maybe don't fold. Baby steps. Maybe don't fold your big blind to no raise before any action has happened or something like that. Crazy, I know, crazy ideas. But yeah, we'll see you all in Spain. Thank you very much for joining us. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thanks, Shane. Thanks, Dylan. Bye bye.